Stations, all stations, Mumbai ground, readability check. How do you read?
Ground, Mr. Tango Alpha November Bravo, Radio 5. How do you read?
Victor Tango, Alpha November Bravo, Mumbai ground, radio 5.
Mumbai ground, Victor Tango, Sierra Number, India, Radio 5. How do you read?
Victor Tango, Sierra November India, Mumbai ground, radio 2. How do you read?
Radio 5, Victor Tango, Sierra Number, India.
Mumbai ground, Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Hotel, Trade U5. How do you read?
Victor Tango, Alpha Bravo Hotel, Mumbai ground, radio 5. Abhay, try to be fast with your calls now. Any call that you'll practice, try to be fast with it. Okay, students, very warm welcome. I hope everyone is settled and I hope everyone is smiling. So as we approach close to the examinations, we realize that now is the time that we have to be ready. And that means that being proficient with all calls. Now, I have shared the manual with almost each one of y'all. Is there anything that you have picked up? Anything that you have a doubt with? Anybody wants to talk about it? Please share your thoughts.
And what is CPDCLC?
Yes. Anushka, I saw it. I will be discussing it. CPLDC is a system used for communication using computers. The full form is Controller Pilot Data Link Communications. And we get coded messages. We get text-based messages. There are certain codes issued. There is a code for Mayday. There is a code for urgency. There are two-letter codes mostly. And communication can also happen that way between the ground and the pilot, or the air traffic controllers and the pilot. These are futuristic technologies that are already in place and they exist, where the aircraft can communicate with the cockpit through computers and data link. So that is CPLDC. There are certain variations in that. I saw your screenshot. Let me go through it. What else, students? Think about it. Did you get a chance to go through the manual? Was there a confusion? CPDLC, Controller Pilot Data Link Communications. So we have a manual. We have a manual for radio communications. In that, if you carefully see, uh, I'll show you today. This is something extra. It will not come in your examinations, but yeah, you should know about it. So maybe certain advanced aircrafts you will be trained on. They might have certain things to communicate via this mode of communication through the air traffic controller. CPDLC students, are you following?
Sir.
Anushka, are you
Oh,
following?
Affirm.
Yes. Other than Anushka, I don't think anybody else has shared any doubts yet. Students, see if you have anything to discuss, keep them posted. We have Abhay, Vivan, Farhan, Dhruv, Ninad, and Shabrish, and Anushka. Students, very nice to see you all. Dhruv, nice to see you again. Farhan, nice to see you. Ninad, you're joining in for the first time. Please get joining in live for the first time. Please get settled. You can rename yourself with your call sign. Anushka, you also rename yourself on your Zoom with your call sign.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon. Ninad, how do you read?
Radio 5, how do you read?
Radio 5.
Sir, can I ask one doubt, sir?
Yeah, we have to open with questions, students, and discussions. Please go ahead.
Sir, we know control, we know approach, we know ground, we know tower. But sir, what is radar contact, sir? Radar in general.
Radar contact does not include voice communications. Radar has a system where information is shared automatically, which can be seen on the radar screen in a digital format, alphanumeric information. So your aircraft needs to have a transponder in order to make a radar contact. If I have a small training aircraft which does not have an radar equipment or transponders, then I'll not be able to contact radar. So that is what we can say contact radar or means by radar. So when we connect to any radar frequency, then automatically that particular radar operator or the air traffic controller who's operating can see us on their screens. So there's a principle in radar that comes into picture, and the equipment which looks like a small box like a computer CPU, which we used to have in early days. So those units are transponders. They send data and receive data through the radar transmitters and receivers. And in that data, through a pulse technique, uh, we embed intelligence. That intelligence depends upon what mode of transponder we have: mode alpha, mode Charlie, mode Sierra. So depending upon the mode, we get extensive information. Like the basic radar will only give us a bearing, like where exactly from the ground station is the aircraft, and sometimes altitude. But modern day aircrafts will tell us speed also, flight track, flight path, and a lot of other information. So it is not verbally available. Remember that. Verbal audio communications are on VHF and HF. So HF is radio and VHF is a set of different air traffic controllers. Anybody would like to share the experience while flight training with radar or something? Have you ever contacted a different ATC? Always feel free to share, students. Are you following, Abhay?
Affirm, sir.
Great. Students, what else?
Sir,
Yes.
in that manual, there is no delivery ATC. We are not using it anymore, or it is gone now.
Delivery is something that we will be using in our new examinations. Delivery is a dedicated air traffic controller helping you with ATC clearances. So their sole job is to give you ATC clearance. So earlier Tower used to give us ATC clearance, that is departure clearance or departure instructions. Remember there's two, three different words meaning the same thing. So delivery is something that will be there at major aerodromes. Remember in our examination, on the screen, which has the flight plan, all available ATCs and their frequencies will be mentioned. So if delivery is there, then remember that for departure clearance or ATC clearance or departure instructions, all three meaning the same thing, you will be speaking with delivery. Any ground movement calls will go to ground. Takeoff and runway related calls will go to tower. And then after tower approach, if approach exists, then control, and then control, control, control en route, and then reverse, like from control to approach, tower, ground. While landing, you might not have to talk to delivery of the destination aerodrome. So do not be confused or threatened by something new that we get. It's just another frequency. They might have some purpose. There is a list of all controllers available. So those are the all different possible controllers that we have. So we have control radar, approach radar, control radar, tower, ground, information, FIS, flight information service, apron, dispatch, and radio. So it is there on page number 12.5. Okay. It is there in every manual that we have. This is more consolidated. I realize this AI manual is more direct to the point compared to the. What do you think, Anushka? Was it difficult going through the manual? No, right?
No, it's not difficult. And I have one more doubt. In
Um,
this manual, phraseology section, it has go ahead, which is not there in previous one. Do we have to use it or it's removed?
there's a small line in our manual 90432, doc 90432, that go ahead has been skipped, and instead of go ahead, just W1 and W2. So we will stick to that update.
Okay.
In previous exams, we were sticking to go ahead optional, as in if the examiner is using, then we will use, because certain examiners were using, certain were not using. Right now, if your ATC is using, then fine. Otherwise, it's fine. So if anybody raises your station, Victor Tango Alpha Lima India, Mumbai ground. So you'll be like Mumbai ground, Victor Tango Alpha Lima India. That's it. You don't have to say go ahead. So you avoid saying that go ahead. Dhruv, are you following?
Yes, I'm following you. But may I
Vivan?
just interrupt something which you said earlier, sir?
Yeah, please.
When you said that we'll have to take ATC clearance and all with delivery, anything related to clearance. But I think in one of the earlier sessions you had mentioned that we take ATC clearance only from tower, right?
Wherever you won't have delivery, ATC clearance will be taken by tower.
Okay.
And if you have delivery, then we'll take it from delivery. Remember this.
Okay.
Because our WPC exams, they didn't have delivery as one of the ATCs, even in the exam simulation. So we were sticking to tower. Now DGC has included delivery. So we will also add delivery. But
So
it will not go
because
to ground.
okay, the place I trained from, we used to call delivery first, and then anything related to takeoff or something, it used to be run tower, sir. So that's
Correct.
why I got confused when I asked you.
No,
So
you have seen it in the correct pattern only, and will follow the same pattern.
okay,
Chances are you might not get clearance before taxi, you might get it after taxi or after reaching runway holding point. So you might already be in touch with tower, and after that also in certain cases you might go back to delivery, take your clearance, and then come back to tower and take takeoff. In certain rare cases that happens, but most of the times your clearances come first. It can come during startup also. So just like you have done it, you take your clearance first, you're clear where to go, how to go, and then you simply taxi, and then during taxi you don't
right,
have to wait for anything else. So you can quickly just take off and follow that particular clearance.
right, sir.
Yeah. So there will be a few things that we'll have to update based upon what is required in these exams and what we have learned from the core course. It is not much, slight update, so make sure we'll replace those things. Ninad, Dhruv, Vivan, all these are important. Ali for you also, Farhan for you also, like Shabrish for you also, for everyone. I think apart from Anushka, it applies to everyone. Okay. Anything else, students? Think about it.
So
Yes?
in the new exam, we are not writing anything. But
No.
can we write all the taxi and departure instructions?
Yes. We can make some notes for a reference, but you don't have to write your calls. Do not write your calls. So learn the abbreviations for all keywords so that when ATC is giving you a very fast clearance or information, you can just quickly write it in abbreviations and then quickly give your read back. But try to just retain everything in your mind. Like, try to retain it. Try to be so focused that you know what the last words were there, and then you repeat them via your read back. Or the best way to memorize it, to visualize everything. Okay. So if I'm traveling on road and I'm going to a new place, I ask for directions. People say go from straight and then take right and then take left. So we remember everything. Okay, this is exactly how the mind is trained for actual pilots. And just focus on the actual elements, just the actual maneuvers, actual turns and actual climb, and rest you can discard. So these RT exams become much more easier where your quantity of words in a call are further reduced than what WPC was expecting. So it becomes much more easier for you. You can just do a little bit of reduced, compact version of a call. So there is a instruction in your manual. I was going through it. Okay. And it is a part called issue of clearance and readback requirements. I'm just reading it verbatim because it is mentioned that controller should pass a clearance slowly and clearly since the pilot needs to write it down. And wasteful repetition will thus be avoided. So the way it was designed, it was all so that, they can note it down and all, but we don't have to write it. Nobody writes it. They all remember it. If they give a wrong readback, ATC will correct it. So uh, that's how safety is ensured basically. But yeah, your memory becomes sharp. Mostly your clearances will be given to you before startup. Which route you're going to fly, that you should already know before startup. Okay. And if there is a pilot who is involved into complicated maneuvers, then clearances should not be given to them in that point of time. They should not increase the workload of a pilot. So, what are those? What are those maneuvers like? Those maneuvers are takeoff related, line up and takeoff related. Anywhere which is a sensitive area, you're going to pass through that sensitive area. Remember, we have one more point. It is about takeoff clearance. Can anybody tell me what was that point? Some students have already discussed in the past, but the point is, does an air traffic controller ATC route clearance mean that you're cleared for takeoff or you're cleared to enter an active runway? No, you have to be given permission to enter the runway and you have to be said certain words called takeoff. Only then you will be cleared for takeoff or you'll assume that you'll take off. And the word takeoff can also be used when you're canceling takeoff. We can cancel takeoff when we have started the takeoff roll and we see certain object ahead or certain uh, animal or something else going wrong. Students, this is very simple. Everything is going to be simple. Let's try a few calls, okay? Who all want to give calls? Can you just message me yes or maybe raise your hands? So I'll just take your names
One more
first.
doubt, please.
Please keep discussing. This has to be discussion session. Yes,
There's one
please.
more question which came in previous attempts.
Mm-hmm.
It is just like report ready for departure while landing traffic is on finals. What will you do?
Report ready for departure when landing aircraft is on finals. We'll have to read the question before it and after it. But in general, what we could think about is if I'm ready for departure, by the time I see the aircraft on finals, I have to be ready. It means the moment that aircraft lands, I might be given permission to enter the runway and then request takeoff. This is the first thing that comes to the mind. Remember, anything on finals, you're not allowed to enter the runway. But anything on base leg, you can enter the runway, depending upon what traffic is there on the base leg. So if we have a glider or a non-powered aircraft or an aircraft in emergency on base leg, then also we cannot enter. So you just have to show your readiness. You have to say Traffic on finals in sight, runway 32. Aircraft ready for departure, holding point runway 27, Air India 123. This seems like an ideal response in this case, but I'm open to more suggestions. Anushka, Dhruv, how would you take that call? Please give me a call. Ninad, you also try and give me a call on this. Take your time, just quickly give me a random casual call. So it took me some time to give you the call because I have to understand and analyze the situation and see what is the best thing. Then, if I have to be more sure, then I'll think twice and thrice and keep doing it, keep refining it. So you also think that way. Okay, finals, will I really be allowed to enter and be on lineup? When do we report finals? We report finals when we are 4 nautical miles from touchdown. So even if I have 100 knots as my speed, then it's going to take less than a minute or two to cross that. So you report when you're ready, when you spot the aircraft on finals. So the aircraft lands and you quickly enter. Once they have taxied out, you will take off. Something
So
like that.
we can just say we're ready for departure, and tower they themselves will tell us when the runway is vacated, and they'll allow us inside, right? That would work, right?
Yeah, try that. Give me a call. We'll assume we're at any airport. You assume any airport now. Yeah.
Mumbai Tower, Victor Tango, Delta Romeo Victor, holding short runway 19, ready for departure, runway 19. Victor Tango, Delta Romeo Victor.
Don't take your call sign so many times. Can you say the call again?
I said Mumbai Tower, Victor Tango, Delta Romeo Victor, holding short runway 19, ready for departure, Victor Tango, Delta Romeo Victor. That's my
Okay. Students, the first thing that we
one
notice,
niner. Yeah.
the first thing that we notice when we are practicing is the use of niner and the use of correction and certain basic elements. So be careful. Yeah, Dhruv realized by himself later on. So we have to make sure we realize it before we give a call. Remember the techniques. Any call when I put you on spot, follow the technique. Frame the call in mind, check it for correctness, and then give the call. That'll just ensure we don't make any errors. Uh, Anushka and Ninad, please try the same call.
Mumbai Tower, Victor Tango, Alpha November Bravo, holding point Charlie, runway 11, traffic in sight ready for departure.
It's a good call. Let's try and compact it a little more. Ninad, can you try? Ninad, you haven't also renamed yourself on Zoom. Do it later on.
Sir, actually renamed, but I don't know why it's not reflecting.
That's
But I'll
fine. Can
try.
you give
I'll
me
try
a
it
call
again.
sign? Can you give me a call sign?
Victor Tango November India November.
Got it. Done. Thanks. Yeah, please go ahead.
So the
Go
call would
ahead.
be Mumbai ground, Victor Tango November India November, holding short runway 09, traffic in sight, request departure. Correction ready for departure.
Okay. Uh, Ground will only deal till the point that the taxi clearance ends to the runway holding point where we report that we have reached and then we contact tower. From there on, we talk to tower. So let's be careful about these things also. We don't want to make any errors. Anything to do with ready for departure on holding point, the call will go to tower. So I think you made the call to ground, which is just an honest mistake because you just started speaking. But I would expect you all to be, uh, what do we say, aware about it, conscious about it. Okay. Decent call. Okay. Still, I think we can do a little more to sound more like what is being expected these days. So try Anushka once more to make it a little more compact. Your call. Dhruv, you also try. फरहान आप ट्राई करना फिर.
White Tower, Victor Tango Alpha, November Bravo, holding short runway 11, ready for departure.
What about the traffic in sight? Do we think we need to mention that? Keep thinking. Simple. All calls are correct so far. Like most calls are correct. Dhruv, try again.
Mumbai Tower, Victor Tango, Delta Romeo, Victor, holding short, runway 19er. Traffic on finals, runway 19er. Ready.
Say again after ready.
So after you said not to mention the call sign again in the end, right? It's just once at the beginning or at the end.
There is a rule when to speak at the end and when to speak in the beginning. So whenever
Okay.
you are replying, that's when you speak at the end. And whenever you make a fresh call, that's when you say it after the station's other station's call sign. So if you're making a first call, like these are all first calls. So here you just say Mumbai Tower and 123, holding short runway 32, traffic in sight, ready for departure. Students, this is what I think people are expecting from you. I'm just trying to make an effort and do it, and it's coming out. It's similar. It's very similar. All those calls are similar, but try that, okay? Everybody just understand what we are talking about. You have studied it and make your life much more simpler. It is that easy. Just to the point. So, yeah, you said ready. Ready for what is what I was missing. So I asked you
So
to.
actually, based on like where I was flying from, there are many pilots who just said ready and that's it. So like just ready. So I just
Hmm.
thought you when you said make it compact, so I just
Okay,
tried to
okay,
make
okay.
that.
Got it, got it. Fine. Farhan, please try. Anushka, read the question out again once.
Report ready for departure while landing. Traffic is on finals.
Hmm. And this is what question number in the sequence?
7.
Hmm. फरहान आप ले रहे हो कॉल?
Affirm, sir. Mumbai Tower, Victor Tango Alpha Lima India, holding short runway 23, traffic in sight, ready for departure.
Okay. What else, students? Do we have more questions? Ninad, are you doing another call? Vivan, why don't you try?
Yes, I have sent you on WhatsApp. Okay.
Can you give me a live verbal call?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to write it.
Mumbai Tower, Victor Tango, Victor Victor Romeo, holding short, runway 27, runway 27, traffic on final, ready for departure.
Wherever you fumble, we can use correction. And good, you realize that 27 is not a number, it's 27. Good. Let's keep practicing, students. Okay. Shabrish, same call.
Mumbai Tower, Victor Tango Sierra November India. How do you read?
Victor Tango, Sierra November, India, Mumbai ground. Read you 4. Speak slower.
Mumbai Tower, Victor Tango Sierra November India, holding short runway 27, ready for departure. Aircraft on finals correction. Traffic on finals in sight.
Okay. We can do much better than this. Firstly, Shabrish, remember what we have been talking about. We have to speak clearly, always. And we do. So make sure that when you're taking a call, you feel that you are in the PIC seat. Everything else will automatically kick in. We are not in a classroom, we are not home, we are not at the library, we are not bored studying. It's not, nothing should be like that. You need to have that excitement and that confidence. Okay? Remember the students. You have to act like a pilot. Okay? You have to act like a pilot. You need to sound like a pilot. It will really give you some extra marks. Otherwise, lack of confidence can bring in the idea of errors, and we don't need that. So, शबरीश दोबारा से आप कॉल लोगे तो उसी एटीट्यूड में लेना है. I know you will do it. Students, look at the screen. What are the readback requirements? So, items that need to be always read back. It's a simple thing, but I'm mentioning it because I want to ensure that only these things you give a read back. Keep your call short. If other things don't follow within this, then you don't give a read back. So that you're not confused what to skip and what not to skip. Okay? Items that need to be always read back. Any suggestions? What it could be? What could it be? Students?
Instructions, clearances,
Instructions, clearances, approvals,
approvals.
and information is what we have been talking about, like four things. There could be an information given, there could be an instruction given, there could be an approval given, or there could be a clearance given. So let's write in detail what these things are. ATC route clearance. So whenever a route clearance is given to you, or even departure clearance is given to you, it has to be accurately read back. Okay? Very simple, something that we always do. If you have been given rerouting clearance, clear to reroute to Delhi via so and so route. So that so and so aspect you have to give a proper read back. So the route clearances. Okay. Then we have a very wide aspect, which is clearances. Now clearances with respect to what? All sensitive areas, all important areas, all major junctions. Just like in ATC clearance, we learned to talk about each climb and each turn. So those are my important points. Okay. So similarly, if I say clearances, then clearances need to be given whenever you are going to enter a runway. Okay. Whenever you're going to land on a runway, whenever you're going to take off on a runway, whenever you're going to hold short of a runway, whenever you're going to cross the runway via taxi, or whenever you're going to backtrack on the runway. So the runway is the most sensitive part of the aerodrome, and the most sensitive aspects of a flight operation also happen very close to the runway, that is takeoff and landing. So clearances and instructions related to any runway. So enter runway, land on runway. That's why whenever you are on finals, mention what's the name. Just be clear about which runway finals you're in. So those are the times when you have to be very clear. Land on runway, then uh, take off on runway, cross taxi, backtrack on runway. What else? One more thing I said, hold short of runway. What else can we do related to runway? Cross, take off, land, enter, taxi, and backtrack. Another thing, which is also somewhere related to runway and a few more things, you give readback for runway in use. Active runway should always be spoken about. So when we are maintaining runway heading, ensure that you're mentioning name of the runway as well. Basically, this is about the readback. So see, again, here we are getting runway. Then we have altimeter settings. You will be given one Q code most times, which will also be there on your flight plan. Can anybody tell me which Q code is it? QNH, QFE, QNE,
QNH.
QNH. What is QNH, students? What does it give me? Anyone? Field elevation?
Sir, local elevation, uh, local airfield elevation, sir.
Local airfield elevation. Is it correct? Anushka, what do I get when I do QNH? Do I get
We
zero
get
on the
from mean sea
ground?
level.
Sorry?
We get it from the mean sea level. The height or altitude, we get it from the mean sea level.
Yes, so that is the elevation of the aerodrome. When we are on the aerodrome, we should read zero. Should we read zero? No, that is height. It should show us the elevation of the field. So how high we are above the mean sea level. So both of you are saying the same thing. I don't know why you're not agreeing. Because field elevation will show me how high is the surface level of the airfield above the mean sea level. So that is field elevation. And QNH will actually show me my altitude from the actual mean sea level. We do it till transition point, right? And after transition a layer, what do we do? Q code. Dhruv, have you
Run
done these
QNE.
things?
Yes, QNE,
Run
sir.
QNE.
1013.
QNE. So QNH and QNE. Ninad,
Affirm, sir.
Harichandra, very warm welcome. I didn't realize you were here. I did see you come a little late. Yeah. Ninad, please share your thoughts.
Yes, sir. In the vicinity of the aerodrome, we'll fly QNH up to the transition altitude. Then in the transition layer, we'll then make the transition towards QNE, which is a standard pressure setting of 1013.25 hectopascal.
So what is QNH? Does it give me my altitude from mean sea level?
Affirm, sir.
Hmm. Can I say it gives me field elevation when I'm on the field?
Affirm, sir.
Q codes are confusing. So we need to have as much of clarity as we can.
Yes, sir.
Good job, students. So altimeter settings, anytime given to you, you have to give a readback. Before I continue, Harichandana, can you do a readability check? Victor Tango Romeo Golf Whiskey Mumbai ground. How do you read?
Victor Tango Romeo Golf Whiskey, Radio 5.
Now this call that Harichandana is taking, this call also I've heard many times. Like students start with their call sign and then end. We have to be careful that we start with the acknowledgement or readback of the call or question and then end with our call sign. So this call could have been very short if we could have said read you 5, how do you read? Victor Tango Romeo Golf Victor Whiskey. Correction. Or Mumbai ground, Victor Tango Romeo Golf Whiskey, read you 5, how do you read? So if this seems a little lengthy, then we can say read you 5, how do you read? Victor Tango Romeo Golf Whiskey. This is how any call you take, if I think it is not correct or needs certain restructuring or correction, then I'll just say it, you do it and apply it. Okay, students? This is how we'll fix our basic errors. Vivan, आपको मैं क्वेश्चन दे रहा हूँ. Everybody write down this question. Uh, approaching holding point, approaching runway holding point, obtain ATC information. Now, ATC information is something that we get from ATIS or DATIS if there is an ATIS or DATIS installed at the aerodrome. If not, then we get it from the ATCs. So this ATC information will include things like runway news, winds, QNH, and so on. And that you have to give a read back exactly as received. This question might not be asked in these exams, but it is good practice. Vivan, please try. Come on, you have to start within 5 seconds. See what Anushka did the moment session got started. She
Yes, sir.
instantly gave me a call. That's how we have to be, students.
I'm trying, sir. Uh, Mumbai Tower, Victor Tango, Victor Victor Romeo, approaching holding runway holding point 27. Uh, Sign some.
You cannot allow yourself to be stuck, students. You have to give a call and get it done. I'll correct it and then you'll work on it. Shabrish, try.
Mumbai Tower, Victor Tango Sierra number India, approaching holding point runway 27. Request ATC information.
Okay, now listen to this, okay? So I'm going to read back the actual Delhi ATIS report of some time ago, and we'll assume that you're getting it from the ATC, and you just try and see if you can give me a read back. So everybody listen to it. Anyone's call sign I take, you try and give me a read back, okay? In the meantime, just add a couple of more points. So there's altimeter settings that will give a read back, and then SSR codes. What is SSR codes? Secondary surveillance radar. The transponders, the SCOC code that we talk about, that is SSR code, secondary surveillance radar. So SSR codes are 4-digit codes. Remember, we have standard codes for hijack, communication failure, emergency, no code assigned, transponder not working, 7500, 7600, 7700, 2000, and then 0000. And then we also have a lot of things like level instructions. This is very important. Level instructions means that changes, vertical changes, flight levels, altitude, leave this for that, maintain that. We have seen return to clearance in the first session when we were talking about ECAS array, TCAS array. So there Cleared flight level was not used, clearance was used, but still there was certain level instruction that we have to give or level updates that we have to give. Then we have heading and speed instructions. For a few times that you will practice calls, keep this list open. And anytime you hear something, if it's a part of this list, only then give a read back. If not, then don't give a read back. That way it will become short. And try it. If you miss something essential, I'll tell you to not miss it. Either verbally ATC giving you this information or you're getting a broadcast from ATIS. You need to give a read back. In today's time, we just mentioned the code, information Charlie, information Bravo, whatever code we listen on ATIS. We just mention the code, we don't give the whole report as a read back. But in case you get the same report given to you by a traffic controller, then you have to give a proper read back. So that's what we are going to practice. I'm just trying to connect with the Delhi artist again. It's busy. Then you also have to give a readback of transition level and similar things. Now they have given us an example for this. This should help you. Dhruv, this should also help you determine the difference between what is being done there and what you have to do. Flying school air traffic conversations are very informal many times, and they might not be what examiners want to hear. Okay, so be very careful. Just because somebody does something in a controlled airspace might not be, might not work for us when we compare the whole bigger airspace for which the exams are designed for. At the same time, some things might be working as well. It might not be that everything is wrong. So you might think that, okay, if this is right, then this could also be right. But that is not the case. Some things could be right, some things could be different. So you follow the right things, but don't follow the different things. Otherwise, we feel that, अरे ये सब तो normal है. These things are normal, so that also could be normal, but not necessary. Okay, so that's
Yes,
why,
sir.
yeah. So remember that, and yeah, example. So something with SSR. Okay, the codes earlier were uniquely given to each aircraft, just like cell call codes. But because the number of aircraft increased and there was limitation in the permutation and combination of codes being identified and codes being created, that certain aircrafts were allowed to share codes, provided they're not flying at the same time. Even with cell call, codes have been started to be shared. Transponder codes can be reassigned any time to any aircraft. So if I want to locate you on the radar, if you have an SSR, all you have to do is just scock the particular code which I'll give you. Or you scock a code and you give me your code so that I can look out for you via that code. Okay? So the call is like this. Victor Tango, Alpha Bravo Charlie, scock 3429er. What will be a reply? Think about giving me a proper read back. So your call would be scock 3429er, Victor Tango, Alpha Bravo Charlie. Very simple, very basic. But this little basic thing has everything that you need to know about readbacks. Remember, first calls, you know how to structure, you'll shorten it. Replies, you give a readback limited to these instructions. That's it. follow the protocols about call signs, use artif words and phrases, and you're good to go. Provided you know what to do where. These are different elements. Okay, students? Are you following?
Sir. Victor Tango Alpha Bravo.
Okay. I'm just giving you a breather for 5 minutes. We'll come back at 0435 p.m. I'm giving you in p.m. So until then, just go through this list. If you have any questions, let me know. It's very simple, very basic. I just want to ensure that we are not missing on these things. And I want you to reflect it in your calls that you're going to practice. All right? Hi, Chandana. After the session, go through the initial part that you have missed. Don't worry. If you have any trouble with continuity, just let me know. All right, students, chalo. Quick breather, come back. Everybody back, students?
Affirm, sir.
I hope everyone can hear me well. Okay, all good, everyone? Can you give me a thumbs up using reactions? Okay. Okay, students, so let me try this. Please be alert. Try to quickly write in codes, and I'll ask everyone, or most of y'all, or some of y'all, to give me a read back. This is in reply to request ATC information. Okay. So Shabrish asked me request ATC information, and now this is my reply. Shabrish, instead of Shabrish, Vivan, you try this call. Okay, request ATC information. Quick.
Mumbai Tower, Victor Tango, Victor Victor Romeo, request ATC information.
Like, students, be fast, but be clear and specific as well. Okay. Hmm. Victor Tango, Victor Victor Romeo, Mumbai Tower, Information Victor, Runway 27, uh, Transition Level, Flight Level 65, Runway 29er, Mix Mode. Wind 330 degrees, 5 knots, visibility 5 kilometers, no significant clouds, temperature 29 degrees Celsius, dew point 80 degrees Celsius, trend no significant change. Information Victor. I will be students who don't have this contact number. I will share it with you. Please request. I would want you to call on this number and listen to the whole letters. There were a lot of numbers and values which were 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So I was not giving that to you. So thus there was this big pause. Whatever information I've given you, although it was not consistently in, there was some gap because I was skipping those parts. Whatever I have said, who wants to give me a read back? Please go ahead. Let me see who was able to grasp how much. Maybe little, maybe two words.
Information Victor, runway 27, transition level, flight level 65, runway 29er, mixed mode, Victor Tango Alpha November Bravo.
Not bad, that was very crisp. Who else can try? Harichandana, do you want to try? I think she's not there. Ninad, Dhruv, Vivan. So I'm going,
Information,
yeah.
I say again, information Victor, runway 27, transition level, flight level 65, runway 29er, mix mode, Victor Tango, November, India, November.
Okay, I'm going to give the whole call again. Everybody, quickly just write whatever and give me a readback. So people who are going to give me a readback now would be Vivan, Dhruv, Shabrish. अभी किसने दिया था call? Who gave me this call? I didn't hear the readback after Anushka.
So Victor Tango, November, India, November.
Yeah. So yeah, Dhruv,
I,
Shabrish.
I think you mentioned dew point as 80 Celsius, sir.
Yeah, there's just dew point. Lie down dew point 08. I'm not sure what they said. I had to just fill in the number. Yeah. Okay. So Victor Tango, Victor Victor Romeo, Mumbai Tower, information Victor, runway 27, transition level, flight level 65, runway 29er, mix mode, wind 330 degrees, 5 knots, visibility 5 kilometers, no significant clouds, temperature 29 degrees Celsius, dew point 08, trend no significant change, information Victor. First come, first serve. Go ahead, students.
Sir, sir, I am going to. Sir,
Don't say all that. Just give me the readback.
information Victor, runway 27, transition level 65, runway 29 mix mode, wind 330 degree, 5 knots, visibility 5 kilometer, no significant cloud, temperature 29 degrees Celsius, dew point 80 degrees Celsius, trend no significant change.
Very good. Very, very good. You missed flight level and 9 is niner. Rest everything it's fine. Good job. Next, who can give it to me?
Information
Students.
Victor, runway 27, transition level, flight level 65, runway 29er, mixed mode, Victor Tango, Delta Romeo Victor.
उसके आगे भी बहुत कुछ बोला है. There is a lot more said ahead of it. Try to grasp it and then give a read back. Okay. Runway 29er mixed mode, wind 330 degrees, 5 knots, visibility 5 kilometers, no significant clouds, temperature 29 degrees, dew point 08, trend no significant change, information Victor.
Do we have to say all of that, sir?
We just read ATS broadcast or ATC information. Read back. What is the meaning of read back? Repeat as received. Yes, all of it. Yes.
Okay, okay.
That's the whole idea. Yes. Focus, students.
So may I?
Yeah, why not?
Information Victor, runway 27, transition level, flight level 65, runway 29er, mixed mode, wind 330 degrees, 05 knots, visibility 5 kilometers, no significant clouds, temperature 29 degrees, dew point 08 degrees Celsius, trend no significant change. Victor Tango, Sierra Number India.
That was excellent. I don't know if it's just me or class, did you notice the difference between Shabri's last dialect and not dialect, but power of speech in this one. He actually heard and he did it. This was so good. Anybody else feeling like me? No? सब अपने काम पे ध्यान दे रहे हैं. But yeah,
But it
Shabris,
was
that
good.
was excellent.
I have one doubt.
Yeah.
Do we have to repeat this wind? Because we never repeated in my flying hours also. We never did. We just mentioned the runway information, transition or flight level. Yeah, just this much, not even visibility and temperature dew point.
Temperature and dew point, if you don't say it's fine, but wind you do say. Because depending upon the wind, you might be required to change the runway. So wind can be said. Temperature dew point, if you don't say it's fine. But I would say if we have heard that you have to give your readback for all these things, then I would suggest you give the complete readback because
F1.
it's a part of these three things. That's why Dhruv was not giving. Dhruv or Ninad, one of them was not giving it
So it was me,
because
sir.
yeah, Dhruv was
Yes.
not giving it. Yeah,
Yes, even me out of habit.
but Shabrish, hang on to this way of speaking. It was very good. It seemed like a very focused and calm pilot talking. I really liked it. That's it. That's it.
So may I ask you something?
आपने मुझे जो मैसेज भेजा था इट इज द सॉल्यूशन ओके या ध्रुव टेल मी
So what's runway 29 mixed mode?
yeah so actually Delhi has three airports so 27 was for departure 28 for arrival and 29er for mixed mode there was a lot of more information that was there in the ATIS which I have not given you all so mixed mode means the same runways used for departure and arrival which is the basic use of a runway that we do but because 27 and 28 are almost parallel to each other so they have given two different things. In the same ATIS report, one thing was also mentioned that taxiway Delta 1 is not available for taxi. And a few more things were there which I didn't mention. So yeah, mixed mode is the runway will take off and use for takeoff and landing both. So basically, what we generally think of a runway is the runway being used in a mixed mode only most of the times. Like any airport which has a intersecting runway, they will only use one runway at a time, and that too also in the mixed mode. There are certain places that use such runways both sides, but it is very different way of handling to avoid collisions. But yeah, mixed mode means for departure and arrival both. Delhi, one is for arrival, one is for departure, one is in mixed mode. So 27, 28, 29er. There are three now.
Okay,
So
sir.
29er both, 27 for. I'll try and play it on speaker once. Anybody else wants to try and give me a readback on this?
Information vector. So can you start?
Out of memory or out of your quick notes, not
Some
from
quick
what I had
notes.
written on screen. Yeah, sorry.
I've written notes. Notes.
Yeah, yeah, fine. But I want such note that you take when you listen to it, nothing after that. Because instant hoga ye. This is going to be instant, but right now two students have already done it. So I don't want you to pick anything from what they have spoken. I want you to pick from your original one that you had heard. So two lines, three lines. I'll give it once more, okay? Victor Tango, Victor Victor Romeo, Mumbai Tower, information, correction, ATC information, Victor, runway 27. So you make a fresh rough note of it. Everybody make a fresh rough note of it. And just give me a readback based upon that. That's what we are practicing. Don't write anything. You have to write it in the exam. In exam, you won't get much to write. So just scribbling little bit to make sure. Try to focus on memory. Do something so that you can store more in memory and then give a read back. Okay. Victor Tango, Victor Victor Romeo, Mumbai Tower, ATC information, Victor, runway 27, transition level, flight level 65, runway 29er, mixed mode, runway 27 departure, runway 28 arrival, wind 330 degrees, 5 knots, visibility 5 kilometers, no significant clouds, temperature 29 degrees Celsius, trend no significant change, information Victor.
Information vector. Runway 27. Transition level. Flight level 65. Runway 29 mixed mode. Runway 27 departure. Runway 28 arrival. visibility 5 km, temperature 29, no significant changes, information vector.
Not bad, not bad. Very good. Richandana, please try. Do you want me to give the call again? Are you ready to give a read back? Please try, whichever.
So, information vector, runway 27, transition line, flight level 65, runway 29 export, runway 27 departure, runway 27 landing, visibility 5 km, temperature 29 degrees Celsius, dew point 0 degrees Celsius, time no significant change, information vector, 50 time Romeo Golf Whiskey.
Amazing. Both of y'all have missed wind 330 degrees 5 knots. It's fine. Vivan, numbers. We have to ensure, obviously, you're practicing. Next call, I need individual numbers. 29 is not a number. I need two niner. Remember that, okay? अब तो आपने शुरू ही किया है practice, but be conscious about it. Next, who's going next? Farhan, ready? Dhruv, ready?
Information vector.
Farhan, go.
Information vector, runway 27, transition level, flight level 65, runway 29 on mixed mode, runway 27, departure, 28 arrival, wind 33505 knots, visibility 5 kilometers, no significant change, temperature 29 degrees Celsius, dew point 05 degrees Celsius, information vector.
Okay, very good. दो तीन corrections करने हैं. Whenever you say runway, don't say just the number, mention runway 28. You said runway 27 and then 28. Say runway 28. And whenever you're fumbling or doing something, use the word correction. Students, very important. Okay? Dhruv?
Information vector runway 27, transition level flight level 65, runway 29 mixed mode, runway 27 departure, runway 28 arrival, winds 330 knots, visibility 5 kilometers, no significant clouds, temperature 29 dew point 08 degrees Celsius, information vector, Victor Tango Delta Romeo Victor.
Not bad. Very good. There are certain small errors which I'm not pinpointing for everyone right now. Major thing is being corrected. Wind 330 degrees, 505 knots. That's it. Everything looked fine.
Sir, one doubt.
Yeah, please.
Information vector, we have to mention 2 times or just 1 times in the starting of radio call?
Actually, ATIS reports will start and end with the information code so that we don't miss it. That's why I've said it twice. You focus how
Our
it is.
radio call, while we give radio call, read back, we have to just mention it once in the starting of the radio call?
You mention it twice or mention it once, it's fine. At least once will be important. You can follow the rule by giving a readback as it is, or once is fine. At least you have verified that you have heard the same information. Actually, a readback will also not be required. We are just practicing for the sake of practicing readback and training our mind to be capturing things. But this kind of call readback might not come. But yeah, technically, we want to just ensure that our mind is learning to grasp, which I think everybody is getting comfortable now. Remember, when we are talking about correction, okay, it is something that you don't have to use much, okay, but you use it where needed. Like, don't make unnecessary mistakes and keep using correction. Try to reduce your mistakes. But maybe if you make two or three mistakes, use correction there. Okay. If you have 10 calls, if you have just started 5-10 minutes and you use correction 3-4 times, then they'll be like, "Arey, kya kar rahe ho? What are you doing? Why?" Just be careful, be focused. Don't use so much of correction. But if it's been 10 minutes and you've just said correction once or twice, then it works in your favor. Correction, uh, correction is so important that when an error is made in a transmission, the word correction shall be spoken. And the last correct group or phrase repeated. And then the correct version transmitted. So it's like if I say wind 335 degrees, 10 knots. And I realized this is an error. Wait, I'll just share the screen. And I realized that 10 degrees is the error because I was told 05, correction, 10 knots is the error and I was told 05 knots. So just make sure that you correct it. So if I say wind 335 degrees, 10 knots, and if I had to change it to 05 knots, so what do I do? Wind 335 degrees, 10 knots, correction, wind 335 degrees, 05 knots. So last correct word or phrase, you correct from there. You don't just correct this word. You don't just say correction. You don't just say wind 335 degrees, 10 knots, correction, 05 knots. No, you say the whole thing again so that it makes sense. Remember this, I have discussed this many times. I am seeing today that not everyone is using correction. So I want you all to use correction if you are making mistakes. Practice session, you can use as many corrections as you want. So don't be shy. At least use it where it's necessary. If you're making 5 errors, then use correction 5 times. But then in the long run, we'll avoid making errors in the first place. That's why the whole thing of formulating the call in mind. Now there is one more concept about correction. Okay. And please, इसके बाद याद रखना, please remember this from here on. If you have mid sentence error, then correct by repeating last correct word or phrase and then corrected word. And second one, if need to give fresh call to correct an error made. It means you have started a call, but the call has a lot of wrong elements which cannot be fixed saying correction, correction. So if you have the need to give fresh call to correct an error made, you will say correction, I say again, and start your fresh call. So you don't even now have to use your disregard. If you make a wrong if you make a wrong call a wrong ATC, and you realize you made a major mistake, then simply say disregard, that is, ignore my last transmission, and then you give a fresh call. Here you can simply make it a little lighter and you can say correction, I say again, Mumbai Tower. So if I say instead of Mumbai Tower, I say Mumbai Ground, India 123, correction, I say again, Mumbai Tower, Air India 123, holding point runway 27, request enter runway 27, ready for departure. Something like this. So I made a correction using this phrase, and examiner will be like, okay, this student has studied and as well. These are little things, but when you use them, they'll work in your favor. Are you following, students?
Affirm, sir.
Any questions or doubts? Dhruv, anything you have to share? Ninad, are you following?
Affirm, sir. Nothing to share, sir.
Something about takeoff clearance. The takeoff clearance shall include the runway designator of the departure aerodrome whenever more than one runway in use. So maybe wherever you're flying, or maybe whenever, whatever we have read, maybe there's just one active runway where we are not habituated to use the name of the runway, but you make it a habit of mentioning the name of the runway always. Okay. Only during safety, certain messages can be transferred during takeoff. Otherwise, during takeoff, no messages are being transmitted back and forth. until you reach a particular point, maybe flaps up or certain point. But in event of safety, you can talk. Sometimes when visibility is not good, ATC will tell you to report when you are airborne because they cannot visually see if your takeoff has been successful. So Mumbai Tower, India 123, airborne runway 32, passing 3,500 feet for flight level 60. So you can further shorten it. Mumbai Tower, India 123, airborne runway 27, passing 3,500 for flight level 70. Very important thing. Whenever you are abandoning the maneuver for takeoff, basically you have begun your takeoff roll and you have to cancel it or abandon it because something has come up ahead on the takeoff path or maybe on the runway. You have to inform the air traffic controller that you have abandoned the takeoff or aborted the takeoff and request taxi to clear the runway and maybe some other instructions if you need. Everything is pretty simple. Takeoff, you will connect with tower while approaching the runway holding point or after approaching the runway holding point. Until then, ground will help you. And when we talk about final approach and landing, then we have to make sure that the same rules follow, that no unnecessary transmissions should be used unless in the event of safety. Until the time you have finished your landing roll, you should not have any communications going on. Landing roll is after touchdown, you have applied the brakes, reverse thrusters, whatsoever the procedure is. When everything is normal and you're ready to just taxi and vacate the runway, that's when your communication should start. Remember, calls like arrival report can be given now. Arrival report, Delhi Tower, India 123, landed runway 27, 1400, request taxi to apron, or request taxi, request further taxi. There are many ways to go about it. Remember, when we talk about approaches, we talk about the ATC circuit. Anybody who doesn't know ATC circuit, make sure you remember the ATC circuit. Now, the ATC circuit we have seen follows a path determined by the flow of traffic. Okay, so if this arrow marks the flow of traffic, then these are major points where I have designated positions in the ATC circuit. Aircrafts can join from anywhere and then follow the same path and be a part of the traffic. Sometimes aircrafts will do a straight in approach. Remember this is a simple code here. Straight in approach. If you have a straight in approach, then you have to report long finals, which is 8 nautical miles from touchdown. And simple, you will report finals 4 nautical miles. You might not be given clearance on long finals to land if you have not been given clearance after reporting that you are on long finals runway 27. Then you again mention that I'm on finals runway 27 and take landing approval, or you might be given approval directly. We can assume when you're on finals, you're cleared to land, but you need to hear that from the air traffic controller after you have updated them that you are on finals. So arrival calls will come towards the end of your paper. Do not think that you don't know or do not think it is something difficult. You just have to either report on finals or long finals, depending upon what is given in the question. and you just mentioned. So Mumbai Tower. So let's do this call. Delhi, we are landing Delhi. Question: carry out a straight in approach. Now, somebody who's not practiced or somebody who's a little worried about, okay, I might not have done some situation before, they might be like, what is straight in approach? Sir ने तो straight in approach नहीं करा. But straight in approach means you have to either report yourself on long finals or finals, and then you'll get clearance to land. Okay. And this is the same time when you might also request to the ATC that you will request for a low pass. A low pass is flying by the air traffic controller, maintaining the runway center line without attempting to land. And this is generally done for visually enabling a visual check of the aircraft undercarriage or maybe some other malfunction that is suspected. So all these are critical points that I'm just discussing, takeoff and landing related, and it is confined within a short dimension and bandwidth so that you don't get confused, you don't get anything wrong. After these two areas, we have ground movement areas, and then we have in-air calls where initial climb, further climb, rerouting and deviations, then descend, further descend, and then come back to arrival. So us discussing these points and understanding, okay, these are the only rules available, which are very basic. Then we stick to those basics and we have less room for error. So I hope you're understanding. Carry out a straight in approach. Anushka, please try.
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango Alpha November Bravo, long final runway 29er, request straight in approach, runway 29er.
Can you go a little slower? Slightly slower?
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango Alpha November Bravo, long final runway 29er, request straight in approach, runway 29er.
That was good. So you're sticking to the rule of speaking what is there in the question. Why are you calling? You mentioned you're on long finals, runway 27. Request straight in approach was a good thing. Nice. Farhan, please try. Try to do something different.
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango Alpha Lima India. Long finals, runway 27. Request straight in approach.
Can anyone tell me, Dhruv and Ninad, how would you request for landing when you are on finals if you don't have to use straight in approach?
So we will just ask for landing instructions.
Can you try and frame a call?
From which exact point, sir?
Same call. You're on finals. What would
Okay.
you do? I'll give
Okay.
you a question. You are on finals. Runway 28. We've slightly modified the question.
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango, Delta Romeo Victor. On finals, runway 28, requesting landing instructions.
Ninad, try. Same situation, but do something original. If your original is the same, then it's fine.
Okay, sir. Delhi Tower, Victor Tango November India November. Finals runway 28. Request landing instruction.
Anushka, same situation.
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango Alpha November Bravo, final runway 28, request landing instructions.
Okay. Um, the use of request and the use of the word requesting. I always say that avoid saying requesting and say request. So try to say request as much as we can, students. In case you come across a manual mention of requesting, then be comfortable and use it in that situation. Otherwise, say request only instead of requesting because it's a standard word. So just say request. Now, Aichandana, I'm giving you the question, and everybody focus on the question and be ready. Landed runway 28 need to accommodate landing aircraft behind. Now, need to accommodate landing aircraft behind. We first saw when we got a call like you have landed, your brakes are hot, or you have a tire burst, or mainly brakes hot indication, or loud noise from below the cabin. And then you have to accommodate landing aircraft behind you. So it's a situation from such a different situation. But here you don't have any emergency. Okay, there's no emergency. Our earlier call, we are connecting with the last call, which was you're on finals runway 28. And now you have landed. Okay. So we will assume that we will imagine, not assume, imagine that we have finished our landing roll. Now we are allowed to make a call. So that is the situation. Please take the call. Uh, Victor Tango, Romeo Golf, Whiskey. Your call.
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango Romeo Whiskey, landed runway 28, requesting further instruction.
Shabrish, same call. Students, you have to give me call within 3 to 5 seconds. The examiners are going to expect it. So whatever you're doing your process, do it very fast. Even if it's partial, it's fine. Follow the instant reply technique. It is very important. It will set a good example in front of the examiners.
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango Sierra number India, landed runway 28, request taxi instructions.
Okay, nothing different, nothing much, but okay. Vivan, try to do something different, something better, something
Delhi
out of the
Tower,
box. Yeah.
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango, Victor Victor Romeo, landed runway 28, traffic on final, request uh, clearance instruction, taxing correction, taxing instruction.
इतना फंबलिंग नहीं कर सकते हैं इतने एरर्स हम नहीं कर सकते वी cannot make so many mistakes and continue doing them I'm just mentioning it so that we avoid it take your time traffic on finals at least you focused on the question and said something more but the communication was not clear couldn't understand what you actually meant landed on runway 328 traffic on finals what was it that you said request can you
Tax
say
clearance.
taxi clearance okay. So generally, while requesting taxi after landing, we don't generally use the word clearance. We'd say request taxi to apron or request taxi instructions or request instructions to vacate the runway. The taxi clearance generally we relate it more with departure taxi, but not an issue. I'm just explaining majority. Hmm. Vivan, just be confident. It's fine. You'll get there. Don't fumble. Don't doubt. Whatever you're doing, even wrong, keep it crisp. Keep it short. Even if it's wrong, it's fine. हाँ, किसने नहीं दिया था हमें? फरहान, कब आपका चांस है?
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango Alpha Lima India, landed runway 27, traffic on finals, inst- request instructions. Delhi Tower, Victor Tango Alpha Lima India, disregard.
Don't use disregard. Use correction, I say again. अभी हमने यूज
Confirm,
किया
sir.
है, अभी हमने सीखा है ना? डिसरिगार्ड
Confirm, sir.
मत करो. करेक्शन आई से अगेन एंड स्टार्ट द फ्रेश कॉल. कैरी ऑन.
Correction, I say again, landed runway 28, request taxi to apron, traffic on finals.
Good effort, good effort. But whenever you're saying correction, I say again, then start the whole call again, okay? W1, W2. Okay. Who wants to give me another try? Yes,
Sir,
Anushka.
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango Alpha November Bravo, landed runway 28, traffic on final, request taxi to parking bay.
Okay. You didn't mention. Not bad. Who else? Somebody had called out. Sir. Dhruv, you? Yes. But आप unmute पे हो तो आप बोलो. Try कर लो एक. Try one.
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango, Delta Romeo Victor, landed runway 28, awaiting further instructions.
Negative. Negative. Ninad?
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango, November, India, November. Landing roll complete. Request taxi instructions. Traffic on finals.
Mm-hmm. Something different was tried. Landing roll completed. Good. But no. अभय.
sir,
Yes. अभय आप पे आ रहा था. आप कब से नहीं बोले हो कुछ. Yes.
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Hotel, landed runway 28, aircraft behind us, need to vacate runway, request taxi clearance.
It had a lot of information. Very good. A lot of accurate information. Can somebody just reduce it? Make it short, compact. Mumbai Tower, India 123, landed runway 280405. Request immediate taxi to accommodate landing aircraft behind us. ज़्यादा कुछ फर्क नहीं है. There's not much difference with what I've done and what you are doing. But I'm just trying to make an effort in that direction. If it sounds much better, then we use that. If you can modify it a little more, then try and do it.
So can you say again?
Mumbai Tower, India 123, landed runway 280400. Request immediate taxi to accommodate landing aircraft behind us. Request immediate taxi to accommodate landing aircraft behind us. I've also given time for my landing, which is a part of our arrival report. Landed runway 280400. I don't know why I said 0400, but yeah. So 0400 बोला मतलब हम रात को ही लैंड कर रहे हैं. Easy, right, students, or is it difficult? Are you able to understand what I'm trying to just walk you through and teach you? It should not be like, sir, आपने सिर्फ दो call types कराए हैं. You should not be like, sir, you've just done two call types. We're not talking about call types right now. We're just understanding the core logic which will apply in any call type. Always that's the approach. The root is the approach always. So yeah, Nina, Dhruv, Anushka, what all calls do you take or have you taken while landing? Give me some calls, routine calls and situations. Dhruv, आपसे start करते हैं. Let's start from you.
So like tower would say us to expedite vacate the runway. So something like that. We would just return our calls back to them.
So once you're cleared to land,
Yeah.
then you land. So do you initiate a call or does ATC call you directly?
So ATC calls us directly, sir. But if in case there's a delay, then we will request them for requesting for instructions to
So
vacate runway. Please expedite or something.
so delay means you have landed and you're on the runway and you're still
Yeah.
waiting for further clearance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's simulate a call on that. Think about it. Give me an ATC call and give me a pilot call. Just the way I give it, you try and give it based on your
Okay.
experience, okay? Just take a
Okay.
moment or two. Anushka, please discuss.
The same thing which he said,
Hmm.
but in my case, always the ATC. I was lucky the ATC initiated first, and I just have to give the read back. Mostly, they will see that we are on the runway. They have to clear the runway. So yeah.
You also prepare the same ATC call and your call. Mentally be ready and discuss with class as if you're trying to talk about a particular concept. Okay, not just for me, but for everyone. Ninad, anything in your experience?
So since I mostly flew in an uncontrolled aerodrome, we would have to initiate the landing roll complete call and even backtracking and vacating the taxiway correction runway. So a sample call would be Mumbai Tower, or assuming it was uncontrolled, that is Mumbai Tower, Victor Tango, November India November, landing roll complete, backtracking active runway in use, vacating runway at taxiway Charlie.
So you had to vacate after backtracking. Was there no exit towards the departure end of the runway?
Negative, sir.
Hmm.
We had directly onto the taxiway.
So you had just one entry on the
Yeah,
runway.
just one entry. Yes, sir.
What was the length of your runway?
Was 1,000 meters, or exactly 1 kilometer.
So very limited
Yeah.
operational capabilities. And did you
Very
have?
limited and very
Mhm.
narrow also.
Okay, nice.
And also mountains to the left, I believe.
Yeah, mountains to the left.
That is interesting. So any extra precautions?
Precautions we had to take into account turning base, sir, because the mountain would there would be a small valley over there. So we would have to sometimes give a sample wind shear report on base, and we'll have to monitor our heights that time because we'll start a rate of descent on base, and then that's where the rate of descent will fluctuate a lot.
So what was your altitude like, circuit altitude?
Circuit altitude, so field elevation was 400 feet. Circuit altitude was 1,400 feet.
And the mountains would have been what, 800 feet or less?
Around 800 feet, sir. 800, 850 feet to the right.
To the right.
And
Great.
yes, sir, to the right.
While
Standard
on
left hand
base. While on base.
while on base. Yes, sir.
Good, good, good. So you can see those mountains from finals also.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's right there. Like it's an
Good.
entire mountain range. It's right there.
So finals
I
is
would
from
say
over the mountains?
no, sir. It's on the same. The entire circuit is on one side of the mountain range. So I would say when you fly downwind, you will basically be parallel to the mountain range. Not even more than 1 nautical mile from it. 1 to 2 nautical miles at most.
Interesting. Students, I hope you're able to visualize what he's saying. See, it's all a set of certain elements which can mean only one or two things. This is the accuracy of science, as we call it. Like people say that science can mean one thing or the other and nothing else. There's no gray area. So yeah, good, good, good. So yeah, I hope you are ready. Uh, take it, Nina, Dhruv, take it. Take the call. Give us the call. ATC also and pilot also.
Can you just go ahead with Alpha November Bravo, just give me some time to prepare, sir.
Uh, okay. Anushka, can you?
So this is very short one. Uh, if we were on the finals and ADC have to give the clearance, it's like Victor Tango Alpha November Bravo, Delhi Tar, clear to land runway 27. So we'll say clear to land runway 27, Victor Tango Alpha November Bravo. After landing, they will say Victor Tango Alpha November Bravo, taxi to parking bay via taxiway Charlie, crossing grass runway 27. We'll say taxi to parking bay via taxiway Charlie, crossing grass runway 27, Victor Tango Alpha November Bravo.
Crossing grass runway 27. So what is exactly going on there?
Sir, many times there are like a paved runway, then a grass runway. So there's a taxiway between them. So we have to mention that we are crossing the grass runway also.
Grass runways are like backyard runways.
Alpha.
Anybody's done paragliding? The motored paragliding. It gives you that kind of takeoff from over grass, short distance. Good, good. Ninad and Adhru, whoever is ready.
Yes.
Good job, Anushka. And then we can further comply with the not taxiway, but the taxi instructions, and then park. And yeah, what's the last call that you give? Last call. I'm talking about our flying pilots. What's the last call? Parked? No? You just report you're at bay, taxi complete, engine shut down, what, something? Nothing? So you just comply with the taxiway and done.
We don't even comply to the taxiway. We just say we are taxiing. We go back to the apron because it was an uncontrolled aerodrome. So nobody cares. So we just park.
That was the last call. So you getting the taxi clearance is the last call. In commercial jetliners, your last call would be once you're parked, your chocks are on, and you're shutting engines down. After that's when your last call would be. Like you have to tell ATC that your engines are like you have to tell them that everything is done. Again, my job is done. The final job that you will have would be to fill in some pilot defect report or something. So after parking and your ground controller giving you the sign to cut engines off, after that you're done. Your job is done. Go enjoy. Debrief and enjoy. Don't just run away. But yeah. Okay, good. Any questions or doubts? Ninad and Dhruv, jaldi se kar lo practice. Don't be shy. Quickly do it.
Yes, sir.
Nobody is judging you.
No, sir, I'm just thinking of a scenario, sir. It's been like so many months.
Same
So I was just,
scenario. You are cleared to land. You have landed. That's it. That's the situation. You have landed. Either you ask for taxi or ATC calls you, whichever is the case. विवान आप ट्राई करो ध्रुव को एक पुश मिलेगा मेक योर ओन फ्री कॉल नाउ द रूल इज 3 to 5 seconds प्लीज फॉलो
So I just need a minute. I'm just.
इतना टाइम तो मिल रहा है सबको कब हुआ था लास्ट क्लास और कितना टाइम कम ऑन स्टूडेंट्स चलो अबे आप ट्राई करो
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Hotel, landed runway 28, request taxi clearance, request taxi instructions for apron.
ऐसे मैं मजाक में बोल रहा हूँ, अभी बयान आपको भी मजाक में ही बोल रहा था कितना टाइम चाहिए, प्लीज डोंट फील बैड। बट मुझे ऐसे लग रहा है कि अभी ग्रास रनवे की बात हुई और अभय का कॉल सुन के ऐसे लग रहा है कि हम गार्डन में ही फ्लाई कर रहे हैं। अभय क्या बोला था, फास्ट लेना है? याद नहीं रहा आपने? फास्ट लो कॉल। बाकी सब आपका परफेक्ट है, आई जस्ट वांट टू सी यू पिक अप द पेस नाउ।
Yes, sir.
हम्म।
Delhi Tower, Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Hotel, landed runway 28. Request taxi clearance to apron.
ठीक है, नॉट बैड। Request taxi to apron. Request taxi. Request further taxi. Request instructions to vacate the runway. Everything is the same. Good. But remember, you have to now speak faster, faster, faster.
From sir.
Okay? Okay, fine. Farhan, any doubts? Victor Tango Romeo Golf Whiskey. Aichandra, any doubts? Ninal, Shabrish.
Sir,
So I have one. So
Please
can we
tell
say
me.
that we are vacating runway via the taxiway Charlie or something?
Sorry, say again.
Can we say that we are vacating runway via the taxiway Charlie or something like that?
We will not taxi by ourselves unless we are compelled to do it. If we have
Like
an answer.
sir, there is a what I don't know the proper name, but it's pretty much in a 45-degree angle from the runway. It- So we can when we land, we can uh, get out of the runway as soon as possible. The kind of express taxi, something like that. I'm not getting the name right now.
But I'm not understanding what's the context of what you're trying to say. Can you tell me what's the context?
So the question is given that landed runway 28 need to accommodate landing aircraft behind.
Correct.
So when we land, like uh, as soon as we land, we need to contact with the ATC, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when it's a busy airport, we
Mm-hmm.
don't taxi on our own to the taxiway. The taxiway which is located in 45-degree angle
Okay, so yes,
to
okay,
clear the runway.
okay. Have you read it somewhere?
No, I haven't read it. So that's the
See, only if there's an emergency, then you can vacate the runway, being aware of the taxiway and being safe about it. But then after vacating the runway, you hold position on that taxiway. So you report landed runway 32,
the rapid
rapid taxi. It's
it
actually
goes
called
like
high speed taxi, and high speed taxi can
okay.
be requested out of you by ATC when there is heavy traffic and you need priority or something. So they'll say kindly expedite. Rapid taxi, high speed taxi is something that you get trained on as a pilot or as a mechanical engineer for the aircraft. Um, Even if you are vacating on your own, you'll just say landed runway 32, vacated runway via taxiway Charlie, holding position taxiway Charlie. And you mention reason why. You don't go further beyond that on your own.
Confirms.
Even if there's certain rule related to a 45-degree angle taxiway, then we need to carefully read if maybe those are, we have to see like provisions as to why. It's like standard deviation patterns only. But remember this, brakes hot indication, need to accommodate landing aircraft behind you. This is one classic case that we keep practicing. Mumbai Tower, India 123, or pan, Mumbai Tower, India 123, landed runway 32, brakes hot indication to accommodate landing aircraft behind us, vacated runway 27 via taxiway Charlie 1, holding position on taxiway Charlie 1, request firefighting services and emergency medical services, persons on board 180, Airbus A320, heavy. I have to make sure that I'm doing my part as a pilot. So that call I would give like this. Are you following, students? I'm
Affirm, sir.
trying to keep it short and sweet, and you can do your own thing also, keeping this in mind. I've seen different pilots talk differently, but have the same elements and same quality. Like slight difference is always there. So always this I wanted to tell Dhruv. Dhruv, when you gave me couple of calls before, I could see that if you would have put focus on safety more, if you would have put focus on safety more, then you would have got a better call. I'm not saying you're not focused on safety, but if we are aware and if we, you know, make safety our responsibility in the examination, then we feel wholesome with respect to our situational awareness.
Okay.
And that situational awareness helps us give a proper call because we're communicating about the situation that we are facing.
Okay, sir.
So always think from the safety perspective. Always. Right now, also, the call that any call that I'll take, I'll not take it unless I also need time. I'll not take it unless I'm sure about the safety, or at least I've given my best towards the safety aspect of my flight because I am the whole and sole decision maker for the aircraft, the PIC, and you are the PICs in the exam. Always remember that. Any student who's coming back, any student who's coming back, they all are saying the same thing. Sir, it was very realistic. Sir, it was very realistic. Sir, it was very realistic. And I'm like, it has always been realistic even when WPC was taking the exams. It's just that we have to look at it from that perspective. So use this and it reflects in your call, students. Okay? Use this and it reflects in your calls. Are we following, students?
No, sir.
Confirm, sir.
Any doubts?
Sir,
Yes, please.
one more doubt, please. There's
Yes,
one
yes.
question.
Yes.
It was like if visibility is getting low at destination and ATC advises you to get prepared for holding
Uh,
till it gets cleared, but after some time ATC contacted you to update that it remains the same. What's your plan of action?
you will maintain your hold. You will extend your duration. That seems like something that I would do because my visibility has not increased, uh, improved. I have to always also keep in mind in these cases if there is any call related to endurance or if endurance was given to me, and if time passed from departure till now has somewhere reached to the total endurance point. If I'm not having that endurance, then maybe I will not be allowed, I'll not be capable of holding more, and maybe that's what I have to talk to ATC about. There could be two things in this situation. So if there is no fuel issue, if there was no fuel leakage issue question prior to this, if there's no endurance related problem, then you just maintain your hold and just maintain your hold. That's it. Keep flying.
So it says after some time they are updating it again. That scenario is same, visibility is not increasing. So what will we do? So can we divert to alternate in that case?
Yes, in case you realize that I don't know, I might have to wait for 30 more minutes, but my alternate will only take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, then I would choose to go to my alternate. This is how you have to calculate. It's a very good question. The situation will always make you feel that, oh, you don't know, you're not prepared for it. This is how, I don't know, the vibe of the questions could be like initially, but you have to not worry about it. You have to assess the situation, act like a pilot, and do the best that you can. विवान समझ रहे हो डाउट आना ही नहीं चाहिए assess the situation, think about safety, think about the RT you have done, and then only then take your call. That's it. Then take your call. So yeah, let's try this call, Anushka. Give me the question. I'll write it on the whiteboard.
If
Everybody
vis-
write this down. Yeah.
if visibility is getting low at destination
Yeah, carry on.
And
Mhm.
ATC advises to get prepared for holding till it gets cleared, but after some time, ATC contacted to update that it remains the same. What's your plan of action?
Visibility low at destination,
Hmm.
holding assigned,
Hmm.
and take action. Anything else in the question? Visibility low at destination, your holding pattern assigned. Update receive that visibility is still low, take action. Does it cover it all?
Yes.
Okay. See, right now I should have been able to give an exact read back to what she said, but I was just not consciously making an effort to do it. I let go. So I'm now having to restructure in my own way, but I'm not sure if I've covered everything, so I'm asking her directly. Okay? This is the importance of the awareness and readback being done automatically in RT language. Harichandana, are you following?
Yes.
Okay. Anushka, take this call. Does the call go to tower or approach? Maybe
Approach
control.
or control?
Most likely approach, yes. Very good. 5-second rule.
So I'm not sure it is correct or not, but
Mm.
Delhi control, Victor Tango, Alpha November Bravo, holding Ikaba, request divert to Jaipur.
Holding over Ikaba or holding Ikaba?
Holding over Ikaba, it should be.
Okay, fine. Okay. Who wants to try the same call? Vivan, very good.
Yes. Uh, Delhi control, Victor Tango, Victor Victor Romeo. Uh, Visibility still below minima at destination. Holding short, holding pattern at Ikawa. Request alternate destination. Diversion to alternate destination.
I can see a lot of improvement, although somebody might say ऐसा call हो सकता है, but I can see a lot of improvement in this. Very good. Keep it up. Who's trying next? अभय फास्ट क्या हुआ? बोल रहे थे ना, बोलो.
Delhi Tower, sorry, correction. Delhi Control, Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Hotel. We are on holding pattern. Uh, uh, Due to visibility low, we would like to divert nearest aerodrome.
Okay, interesting. Can you say again?
Delhi
Fast बोलो
Control,
अभी, fast बोलो.
Delhi Control, Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Hotel. We are holding pattern. Due to visibility low, would like to divert nearest aerodrome.
Okay. Who's going next? Harichandra, try.
Delhi control, Victor Tango Romeo Golf Whiskey on holding pattern. Visibility still above, still below. Divert to nearest aerodrome.
Okay. Anushka, are you able to modify and make it much better? आई एम गेटिंग इट। दो तीन कॉल सुन के मुझे तो आ रहा है, अपने आप आ रहा है क्या करना है। आर यू गेटिंग द वाइब? एनीबडी गेटिंग द वाइब? फरहान, बी इन सिंक। ध्रुव, बी इन सिंक। प्लीज गो अहेड। Yeah, Triangle Alpha November Bravo, go ahead.
Delhi Control, Victor Tango Alpha November Bravo, holding over Ikawa, visibility below minima, endurance 0030, request divert to nearest aerodrome.
Okay, it can be still more focused on the situation. Dhruv, try.
Sir, I just need a moment, sir.
Ninad, sure, Ninad.
Sir, can I try one more?
Yeah, Abhay, stand by, I'll come to you. Ninad, are you trying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Delhi approach, Victor Tango, November, India, November, holding over Ikaba, would like to divert to Jaipur, request diversion.
Okay. Farhan?
Delhi Control, Victor Tango Alpha Lima India, holding over Kaaba, low visibility at destination airport, request deviation to alternate aerodrome.
Okay. Abhay?
Delhi Control, Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Hotel. We are on holding pattern. Due to low visibility, we abort landing in the aerodrome. We would like to divert to nearest aerodrome.
Okay. Students, always think. Low visibility, visibility below minima, but can you still do an ILS approach? Can you still fly IMC? Is there a possibility for you to request for an instrument approach even if the visibility is low? If not, then you mention uh, the reason why you want to go to the nearby aerodrome or your diversion. You can always mention uh, endurance in this case. Endurance is the total number of hours you can stay in air, or and you can mention uh, some prospect with respect to how soon can you reach your diversionary airport to ensure that your aircraft doesn't run out of fuel. The whole issue here is not time bound, it's fuel bound. There are two type of emergencies, time critical and fuel critical. You holding here is not time critical, it is fuel critical. And the fuel critical actually makes it time critical. So what is your fuel burn rate? And present fuel burn rate, how much fuel is there, that will help you calculate how much time you have in air. That's how you'll calculate your endurance. And if you think that, okay, I'm not sure about visibility, weather is bad, I'll not be able to land, and if you cannot do an instrument approach, then definitely you have to go to another aerodrome, but you have to calculate. You need to know if it is safe or not. You cannot just simply ask ATC to send me here and there. They might give you the clearance, but are you sufficient to travel till that time? You will have to have this logic also in your calls because your examiners are expecting that. So, after having thought about the situation, is what you have to take a call. So, in your calls, I did see that you have tried to use couple of more elements, but still, there's a lot that we can be aware about in this situation. Can anyone try after me having said this? Dhruv, you needed some time, so you get some more idea. Just give me a call. Right and wrong is not a problem.
Delhi approach, Victor Tango, Delta Romeo Victor, holding over Ikaba, requesting ILS approach, runway 19 due low visibility.
Here you could also mention endurance is limited so that they know.
Okay.
Now, this is
Okay.
something different and out of the blue. Ensure there's no such limitation mentioned that you cannot do ILS approach. Okay. Anushka, what do you think about this? The more we think, about, okay, this could be, this could be.
And that's what it is. Even visibility is low. That means they are telling us you can't make a landing there.
You can't make a visual landing there, maybe.
Yep. But there are also minimas for like VOR, NDVs, and this stuff
So
also. No?
ILS Cat 3C has no minimas.
Okay.
So you'll also have to
I never
check.
did ILS approach.
I know, I know. You are thinking in the right track. I'm just thinking, what if
Yeah.
they use this? This could be the most uh uh what do we say, possibility, most varied possibility in this situation. So you can always ask about the runway ILS category and see if that category matches with your aircraft. And if yes, only then you can land in low visibility. Otherwise, you cannot. Okay. So somewhere in your flight plan, if they have mentioned ILS Cat 2A or 3A or Cat 2, Cat 1, then you just check if the aerodrome also has the same. If yes, only then you can land on zero visibility. Otherwise, you cannot do ILS approach also. Then only we will go to that place. Alternate, that is. Dhruv, following, it was a good call. I structured it really well. But be aware about these situations and you're good, sorted, solid way you're sorted in such cases. Okay. Okay, let me try and take this call. If I make some errors, please correct it and give me a better call than that. Mumbai approach, Air India 123, holding over Ekaba. E Aerodrome weather below minima. Aircraft endurance 0030 would like to divert to Pune, ETA Pune 0450. Request instructions to set course to Pune. Anytime you're choosing a nearby aerodrome, you can always say request instructions to set course to that place. Immediately you can say. Me trying to mention the time was to ensure that I think I can reach Pune in 20 minutes and I have an endurance of 30 minutes. Let's hope that Pune doesn't give me any delay or any hold. So I'll require uh, what is the word for a priority arrival? Anyone? Emergency landing, precautionary landing, and priority landing. So you'll be asking for a priority landing in that case. So there's a lot to think. Always think everything and then take your call and you'll be sorted. So think a little more, think about safety, think a little more. And landing, these are the various possibilities that we could have. This is good. Like, I hope you're understanding, students. ILS CAT, if you don't know, then in our RT Digital Library, the notes for part 1 exam, which was part 2 for the older one, in that there is one PDF which has summary pages of all systems from Oxford. In that summary page, you have a description of category directly given. ILS category. They show us which category has what minimas in which you can do instrument landing. Although it's instrument, we still need some visibility. But there is one instrument category, ILS category, that requires nothing, zero. But not all airports are designed for it and not all aircrafts are designed for it. So we need a match. Just like aircraft classification number and payment classification number, ACN and PCN. A 380 was not able to land Mumbai till a certain time, till Mumbai Aerodrome got a major update on the runway. Only then the aircraft was allowed to land because the ACN and PCN was not matching. Simple. Okay.
So sorry to disturb, but in this case, is it like easier for us to tell which aerodrome we want to go? Like after mentioning endurance, we want to go to Pune specific aerodrome because we already sorted it out. We already calculated fuel, how much fuel we need, or we can let them decide which aerodrome they will send us to, or we can just mention the endurance and divert it to nearest aerodrome or like that.
See, during flight planning, we always have at least one alternate, that is destination alternate. Sometimes there are no alternates also. So if your alternate is planned, then you only target that alternate and nothing else. But if your alternate is not planned, that's when you can ask ATC for suggestions. And then they'll give you options, and then only you have to choose where to go. Again, you'll have to calculate based upon the options available. So you can say request, you can say would like to divert to an alternate aerodrome, unsure of the nearest aerodrome, request information on the same. And they'll be like, you have two available aerodromes, one is there, one is here. Where would you like to go? I'll be like, is it possible to obtain weather for those two places? If the weather is great, then I can go to the nearest one, provided they will accept me. So they'll have to call the other aerodrome on landlines and talk to them and check with them if they're able to handle traffic. Can they handle emergency traffic or traffic that might run out of fuel because they already have low endurance? They'll be like, yeah, yeah, send it or don't send it. If they say don't send it, then they'll be like, this is not available. Let's try the other one. So this is how the background work will go, and then they will come and tell you, and then you'll be okay, okay, I'll come here. Fine. Many people have met accidents trying to land at aerodromes in low visibility because most of the times they succeed. Only few rare times they don't succeed. A recent aircraft also had the same issue near Mumbai. Everybody heard about it. It was a high profile flight. They also attempted multiple landings, which they should not have, is what we feel later on. But everything is so common that it's like complacency in a way that हो जाता है, हो जाता है, हो जाता है, but it's very bad. So if you don't feel it's safe to land in one go, and if you don't have fuel emergency, then think of more alternates. Think of more alternate options. Wait for weather to clear. Do the safest thing. Do the safest thing always. Okay. Students, any doubts? Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, to perform safest landing, does RVR play a big role, sir? Runway
Yeah.
visual range for landing and takeoff,
Yes,
sir,
yes,
some
yes.
number.
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely. It is because you cannot land or you cannot do VFR if your visibility is below 5 kilometers. You can only do special VFR if your visibility is 1,500 meters to 5,000 meters. So there, visual flying visibility is very important. ILS also, depending upon the category, we need certain RVR. So RVR will always play a role. Always play a role.
Sir, ILS CAT 3C, sir, is installed in airports now, sir.
There are certain airports where we have it, definitely.
Sir, we can perform ILS CAT 3C on a zero visibility or auto land.
Cat 3, Cat 3C is only designed for that only. I'm just trying to pull up that file for everyone to see so that you can take a screenshot of it, students. Any more doubts, students?
Sir,
I
in
hope,
India, we have,
yeah,
sir, in Indian airports, we have only till Cat 3B only,
Cat 3B. Is it?
not C.
Uh-huh. Farhan, are you saying this?
Affirm, sir.
Okay, very good. Okay, check this out, students. I hope everybody can see the screen. Okay, fine. Check this out. ILS guidance limitations. DH is decision height and RVR is runway visual range. Can everybody see it?
Affirm, sir.
Yeah. So decision height means you're on that altitude after having reported on finals. So you are on finals, you are clear to land, and you're just approaching the runway center line, and you are going to make a final decision to land. So the altitude at which you make the final decision to whether attempt the landing or not is called decision height, DH. Ninad, Anushka, Dhruv, do you remember making such calls at certain altitudes? Do you remember if you had a decision height to maintain?
Affirm, sir.
What was it usually?
Usually it would be, I think, around 100, 150 feet, around that much.
And that is how close to the runway touchdown?
That would be 4 nautical miles.
4 nautical miles
So
on
normal time
finals.
on finals, basically.
On finals. Anushka and Inad, how about you?
Same, sir. I agree with him.
Same. So your aircraft, Cessna, might have a approved limited decision height of 100, 150 feet. It could be regulated that way. Maybe that's why you have a combination.
Sir,
Still,
in Cessna, sorry. We don't really have decision height. We just go around whenever we want sometimes. And I have flown, like I said, 172 and DA-42. In that aircraft, we really care about decision height.
very good. Very good.
Yes, sir. To be honest, we actually had to make our own ILS plate and approach. So the instructor had told us to keep a decision height of 100 feet, 150 feet.
Interesting. Very nice. I hope other students are enjoying discussions. अच्छा लग रहा आप लोगों
Affirm,
को सुन के. Hi Chandana. Um, I cannot see you, Shabrish. I cannot see you, so I'm asking. Okay, great. So I'll just explain this. Make sure it might somewhere come in your exam, might not, but this is an important point. So remember what we have discussed. It's a really good question Anushka has shared with us. And you need not be scared or worried about any situation because you can always take a decision and converse based upon that decision. So if you have category 1, okay, category 2, category 3, okay, facility means what provision is available at the aerodrome. And operational category means aircraft's capacity is what we can say. Okay, 3 has 3 categories, 3A, 3B, 3C. So if I have 3C, then I can land in any which visibilities. My instrument is going to ensure that I land on the runway center line. All I have to do is just take care of the CDI or HSI, whatever the system is. Okay, I just stay, plus I stay like this on the system and I land automatically. For 3B, my decision height has to be less than 50 feet, 0 to 50 feet. Okay. So, and for 3A, 0 to 100 feet. And look at the RVR, 3B, 75 meters. So you will at least need 75 meters to land. Visibility, 75 meters out of how much? Special VFR also is 1,500 meters. So 75 meters seems like very less, very less. So it could possibly be existing also. So you can always ask about RVR. And if they say RVR 25 meters, then you know your 3B will not be able to land because you need more than or equal to 75 meters for 3B. Only category 3C will be able to land. Are you following, students? Easy?
affirm, sir.
Hmm. ठीक है चलो. Great students. I am waiting to see how the impact of whatever you have learned and whatever we have been discussing in these sessions, what is the impact of this in your calls. So what I'm going to do is, uh, Students, can everybody in real time mention me your exam dates quickly? Especially students who are applying in have applied for May practical exam. So Anushka, you are number one, that I'm sure. Who else? Somebody on 16th or 18th? Somebody
Sir,
on 11th?
18th.
Farhan, I've got yours.
Sir,
Confirm, sir.
Anushka, I've got. Just drop me a message on WhatsApp, everyone. And students who are not yet applied for any reason, you will also mention that we have not applied. We are applying in the next coming session. Yeah, sir, somebody was saying something.
Dhruv, sir, I was 13th
Yeah.
May, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
for this exam, we have to stay back till the whole shift ends, like 5 o'clock.
Farhan, are you asking me?
Affirm, sir.
No. You give your exam and you can leave. Anushka, is that right? Yeah.
Affirm.
तुम्हारे
You
तुम्हें
don't,
टाइम क्या मिला है स्लॉट का?
Reporting time is 1:30.
1:30. Anushka, by when do you think the chance would come for him?
So they just take like 5 students at one time, 5 or 6 students, I don't really remember. One by one they take. So even though if it's getting late, max to max it will be like 4:30 or like 4 o'clock. Like half an hour for each student, and there is 2 room. So there are three invigilators, like examiners, and one student in one and one student in one. So they want to let us go.
So, and in a batch, there are only five or there are more than five? 30, 20,
I
10?
don't really remember, but they are not more than 10.
Not more than 10. Very good. Very helpful. Very helpful. Anybody else? Ninad, have you applied? Yeah. I was waiting for your message only. Very good. So,
sir, I've
Farhan and
sent it on
Ninad,
WhatsApp.
sorry?
I've sent it on WhatsApp, sir. 18th May afternoon session.
Got it. So, Farhan and Ninad, you both have exam on the same day. Okay? So in case you all would want to practice together a little bit, then you can exchange numbers and talk and study also. Okay? Let me know and I'll do the needful, asking each other. Great. Okay. So the whole point is Monday. Okay. Timing, I am going to confirm with you all. I think this time is good, but I'm thinking if I can do a little early in the morning. If anybody has any preferences, do message me. We will do at least 2 tests. My plan is to do 4 for each one of y'all, and I want other students to also be a part of the session to observe and learn. So attendance, I would want everybody to have. Okay? And yeah. So timings I'll confirm. When I confirm timings, if you have any issues, just let me know or try to match timing because I think you have exams, so now you're focused on exams, so I think you can take time out. So I'm just telling you, we'll directly start with the test on that day. No briefing, no nothing. I'll try to create a layout that gives you a feel of the examination, and we'll just start with the test. Okay? And one by one, we'll do a test, we'll do a debrief, we'll take a short break, we'll take the next test, do a debrief, take a short break, next test, do a debrief, take a short break. That's the plan. Okay? And based upon your individual feedback, you will prep and you will ask for something that you need. And then Tuesday, Anushka, we will be doing a serious mock for you, which I think we would do one-on-one. Okay? Remember. So Monday group session, exact timings I'll confirm. And so that would go around same time as today. Today I think thoda kam time le rahe hum. And that's what we are going to do. So are you ready for it? Dhruv, Farhan, Ninad, and Anushka.
Negative, sir. From Monday, I
All
won't be able to join.
आप क्या टाइम ज्वाइन कर सकते हो मुझे मैसेज कर दो लेट मी सी इफ आई कैन डू समथिंग टू मेक श्योर Okay? Don't worry. अभी message कर दो. Ninad, Dhruv, Anushka, are you ready?
Yes, sir, I'm okay with it. So preferably, if possible, in the evening sessions, if you can keep it.
Who's calling? Station calling?
Dhruv, Victor
Yeah.
Tango, Delta Lima Victor.
What timings? These timings are fine. 3 onwards.
Um, maybe after 5, sir.
After 5. And Ninad, are you okay with any time?
Sir, after 3, anytime is all right, sir. 3 onwards.
Okay. And Anushka, any preferences? Farhan,
Sir,
आपका भी
anytime
preference
is
बता दो. Yeah, Anushka?
sir, anytime is fine for me, but I just have 4 5 doubts. So can we clear it today or on one, or I have to wait for Monday?
No, please tell me. Let's hear them out.
Okay. In case of fuel completely exhausted just after landing, and we are still on the runway, we just have to ask for tow truck or something else.
Fuel exhausted on landing. This is one of the questions one of our pilot students had received. And it is something that you would say Mumbai Tower, India 123, landed runway 20, request towing, request tow to apron, aircraft completely low on fuel. You will only ask for towing, and there's nothing else we can do. We cannot ask for refueling. So we have to call for a tow truck, request tow truck to tow the aircraft to the runway. Not to the runway, to the apron. If you have low endurance, if you had a situation where you had a fuel leakage, if you did a mayday or a pan call, mostly mayday, and you land and then request for taxi, then your examiner will tell you, how are you taxing? You don't have fuel. So be aware about these connections. So request for tow truck. Has anyone ever seen a tow truck?
Affirm, sir.
Sir.
I think people who have flown, they must have seen when we board the aircraft. If not, let me know. I'll show you pictures or maybe videos.
And I don't know how to
Anushka, clear about this call?
affirm, sir. And
Carry
I
on.
don't know how to make relay for another aircraft.
Sir, did you note down my date, sir?
Yeah.
13th.
Dhruv is 1-3, Fran and another 1-8. Anushka is 4. Fuel exhausted on landing. Okay, next question was relay. Relay is very simple. You will actually be relaying with a live aircraft. One of the 3 examiners will act as that aircraft. So, do you remember any question for relay? Let's take that question and do a call.
There was none in my exam. I just
Yeah.
got it from like PDF. So it was just
Yeah.
written relay for another aircraft.
Yeah. So sometimes you might be asked to relay for an aircraft, or you have to ask another aircraft to relay for you. In these exams, mostly you have to relay for the you have to relay for another aircraft. So you will hear their call, and based upon what call you hear, you will relay it to ATC. So the call goes like this. Let's say Dhruv is taking a call, and I have to relay the call for Dhruv. So why do we relay? Firstly, we all are on the same frequency. Most of the times it could be control, it could be ground. Let's say we are in air and the call, we are all tuned to particular control. Let's say we're going from Mumbai to Delhi and we are in Ahmedabad ACC area. So we're talking to Ahmedabad control. Now we can hear on the Ahmedabad control frequency, we can hear another aircraft try and reach out to air traffic controller but get no response from the air traffic controller, but you can hear them. So whatever call they have taken, okay, you just relay that call to the air traffic controller. Ahmedabad control, Air India 123, relaying for Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Charlie. And whatever call they said, you just give that call to as it is. Then ATC will give you a reply. You hear that reply and then go and transmit it to that aircraft. So if they say, Roger, maintain flight level 350, report further instructions, Ahmedabad control. So you'll say Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Charlie, India 123, relaying for Ahmedabad control. Roger, maintain flight level 350, stand by for further instructions. And they'll give us a read back. That's it. If you have nothing more to relay, great. If you have something to relay, go back and relay that too. So you don't have to change frequencies. It's just that for some reason they both are not connected, but you are connected to both. Students, are we following everyone? Relay, important aspect.
Sir.
Yes,
Confirm.
Anushka, go on. Anushka, more doubts?
Sir, what is dumbbell?
Yes. तो ये सारे आपके पेज वाले कॉल्स में ऑब्वियसली करता वन ऑन वन, बट गुड अभी बात हो रही है बिकॉज जितना हम जो चीज जब जल्दी कर लेंगे उतना अच्छा है हमारे लिए. सो डम्बल is a dumbbell shaped area towards the end of a runway. Okay. And it is an extra area given to perform certain actions of the aircraft. One of the action is to maybe turn around, or one of the action is to do a high power run up. Okay. I'm going to show you a dumbbell or a partial dumbbell in Mumbai Aerodrome. But the design is actually that like that of a dumbbell. You have a small bar and then you have two balloons on the side. Old school dumbbell. Now we have discs. Earlier we had round weights like this, like this. So this is exactly how the dumbbell looks. There will be a small passageway like this, obviously a pavement, concrete, and two circular areas or maybe one circular area like this on one side. So that is what is a dumbbell. Whenever you're doing a high power run up, you can do it at a dumbbell for any runway if it exists. Students, are we following? Anybody has a doubt? Harichandana, are you following?
Yes.
Yeah, very good. I'm glad that you're alert. क्योंकि मैं कुछ बच्चों का ज़्यादा नाम नहीं ले रहा हूँ अभी. It doesn't mean that you're not getting personal attention. Vivan, are you following?
Sir.
Very good. So check this out. This is Mumbai, runway 27. Okay. And this area here is a dumbbell, partial dumbbell. You see how it is? Twist your head and see the center bar and one side balloon weight, that circular weight. Generally, dumbbells are complete, but this is just a one-sided dumbbell. And this, you see this red thing. These are basically, they seem like deflector plates to deflect the jet exhaust when somebody is doing a high power run-up. So they deflect it upwards. Because here we have road and then here we have people living in. So close. So I'll just show you something more. Yeah, so dumbbell will always be towards the end of a runway. Okay, remember that. What else? What are your other doubts? Please ask.
In departure report, do we have to give estimates for like all of the waypoints in the route or all of the things in the route, or we can just give two estimates which are in the starting of the route and then leave it?
Very good point. Now coming to estimates. We have to shorten our calls. So you can just give your next estimate an ETA. You don't have to give your all estimates. Just give your next estimate and try and give ETA if you can for your destination. Dhruv, are you following? We have learned in our sessions to give extensive and alls, but to make it compact and to give it as required, we can shorten it by giving next. Actual pilots just give next. They don't even give ETA. Okay. So you can give next and you can give ETA in the call. So next कौन सा आने वाला है? ETA कौन सा आने वाला है? That's it. In certain reports, you are required to give one estimate before a control boundary and one after a control boundary. So if you're doing a report, then give at least one before any control boundary, one after a control boundary. Otherwise, in normal routine calls, when you don't have to give report, but you just have to do level change, rerouting, diversions, transmitting blind or something, then you can just mention your next and then you can mention ETA.
Sir, if the question just said give a position report.
So position report, you give one waypoint before a control boundary and one after a control boundary, following the same rule for each control boundary.
Got it, sir.
Also, do mention control boundary in between. So, estimating alpha 1405, Mumbai Ahmedabad control boundary 1035, delta 1045, Ahmedabad Delhi control boundary 1055, ETA Delhi or Charlie and then ETA Delhi. This is how the rule is, but you might not get such a lengthy, you might or might not get. But yeah, remember this. Yeah, so I was showing you this. These are the Air India maintenance hangars. Okay. Here, one, two, three, four. And this one is an overall place. And from here, somewhere here, I hope you can see the cursor, you are able to see planes doing things on the dumbbell. Like visually, you can see it. I've seen it personally. And it's not just that you will use the dumbbell. Sometimes you will take this runway and you will face it in the opposite direction of the traffic so that your exhaust can go towards the length of the runway. So that way also high power run-ups are being done. Engineers do high power run-ups and sometimes pilots do it before takeoff, sometimes if need be. So they do it in such cases. There's one more place here.
So it is near Terminal 1 building.
We call it the Air India Hangar East Wing. Here only somewhere. Fine. It was a place where you could taxi and go. There's a gate to go. Great. What are your other doubts? Please tell me.
In Selcal check, why are we using Selcal OK? Why can't we use any other thing?
I think they're using it because it's given in the manual, because otherwise we don't use OK anywhere. I've also observed this that we don't generally use OK. But for cell call or any system, we say OK, not just cell call. If there's any system check, but we don't see such examples. So it is specific to cell call only. We can use it. Is there anything else where we say okay? We don't say ILS okay. We don't say we VOR okay. We don't say all that. Cell call okay goes. It's how the script has been given, I think, and that's why people are following it. Or what you could say, cell call working well also is informal. Cell call operational. Operational is not a different word. So cell call okay maybe the most easiest thing to say is that.
What about positive, sir?
No, not used. Positive also not used. Cell call correct. Correct cannot be also used. So maybe it's the least complicated informal word used here. Maybe that's why. Good question. I don't think anybody's ever asked this question. I have thought about it many times. Like, okay, बोल रहे हैं, ठीक है, sounds good. Cell call, okay. Rest everything we say operational or unable, system equipment failure, equipment malfunction. Mm. See if you can replace it with something else, then kindly suggest it, students. Let's see. Let's keep it open. Sometimes simple explanations might not satisfy you. So keep it open and see. Keep thinking. Yeah, please. Anything else?
And this is the last one. In pre-flight cell call check, we are doing secondary first and then primary. But in airborne, we are just using like primary. Yeah.
Yes. Very nice. Simple doubts. Essentials. I'm glad you went through those sessions. And I'm so glad that, that much time is saved basically. Cell call is operated on two frequencies because HF has two operational frequencies, primary and secondary. Um, we have to check cell call whether it works or not on both frequencies because sometimes if primary is not working, then we will use secondary. So we check it on both frequencies. We check whether the code is matching and whether the code is matching with the aircraft, if the ATC knows what the code of the aircraft is, and if the system is working or not. Although engineers have already done all the testing, there are certain checks which are a part of the pilot's pre-flight check requirement. So if cell call is a part of it, maybe on demand. Now pilots generally don't do cell call checks. So many pilots that they're learning these checks, they're like, sir, हम लोग को करना नहीं पड़ता है ये क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं हम लोग? And I'm like, see, there might be a need for you to do it because we're doing RT communication. It's completely voice based. You might not have a radar, but you might still have voice. So secondary and primary, it's very simple. The logic we do first on secondary and then on primary is to avoid the error of keeping the system on the last tuned frequency in case we do primary first and then secondary. Chances are that first I'll do it on primary, cell call okay, changing to secondary, cell call okay, tada bye bye. And then the system might stay on secondary. I might think cell call is working. I'm flying. There's an important update from the FIC that I need. They're trying to reach me on cell call, but I'm tuned on secondary and they're on primary. So that'll be an issue. So first we do on secondary and then we do on primary and we stay by default on primary. We don't have to do anything else. The system is live. We have done a mock check. And if anything happens, HF will just reach out to me and I'll get to know through a beep or a light. And that way I'll just raise the station. Mumbai Radio, Victor Tango Alpha Bravo Charlie. Now, when I am in airborne cell call check, why do I do it just on primary? Because that's the frequency I'm tuned on. That's it, nothing else. So airborne cell call check we only do on the frequency we are tuned in, which in most cases is primary. But just be aware you might have a secondary frequency operational and then you might be doing an airborne cell call check. If you are on secondary, then your airborne cell call check will go on secondary. So whatever is the current frequency. So here the assumption is that you are on primary only, which is in the most case scenario on primary. Very simple. One example I always give is manual pressure setting and automatic pressure setting. A very big accident has happened where the whole craft and crew had fainted before the plane crashed. And the issue was that the engineers or anyone, I'm not sure who the person was, I'm sure, but I don't want to take names, but um, they checked the system. It was on automatic because the pilot had already checked it. Somebody had already checked it and kept it on automatic. So the person who checked it later on, he came and checked it on automatic, then checked it on manual, and then left it on manual. And the pilot who was flying, he never would have guessed that it would be on manual because he assumed it is on, assumed no, he expected it to be on automatic. That's the only thing. All the pilots had to do before they fainted was to adjust the pressure manually or change it to automatic. So they thought it was automatic, but it was manual. So similar logic is here on cell call check. And you won't believe how they found out. They found out because they got a small piece of debris in which the switch was intact, a toggle switch, and it was on manual. That's how they realized. Otherwise, they would not have realized. If that switch would have been destroyed or burnt out, then they would have never gotten to know maybe. Anyway, somewhere here, okay? East wing is somewhere here where we used to do another high power runner. There was a big wall, any which ways. Remember, you might get idle power run-up calls that you can do on taxiway. You can do it for single engine. You can do it for dual engine, one engine at a time, and you do also have to mention duration for each engine. Call would go like this: and Mumbai ground, India 123, stand 2, request startup, would like to carry out idle power run-up. Number 1 engine, duration 05 minutes. So you ask for startup to do idle power run-up. And when you have high power requirement, Mumbai ground, India 123, stand 2, request startup, would like to carry out high power run-up. Request taxi to Dumble runway 32. So you do the high power run-up somewhere else. So you ask for taxi till that point. Okay, but I don't think idle power run-up calls will come, but you need to be aware. Now we'll practice some mock, and any calls we'll discuss mostly will be the calls in air. Okay. Anybody wants to practice something else, just put it out and let me know so that I can include those things as well. Any other doubt that you have, Anushka?
No, sir. Thank you so much.
Never say sorry, students, for asking questions, but I like the humility in each one of y'all. If you need anything extra, just let me know, okay? Just let me know. Dhruv, any questions?
Nothing, sir.
Hari Chandana, very happy to see you live. I was waiting for the last session also. If you have not attended the last session, let me know. I'll share the link and please attend it.
Yes.
Very good. Shabrish, if anything, let me know. Ninad, anything, let me know. Abhay, remember, fast calls. Keep studying. Give me some update. Start your other subjects also. Vivan, keep updating. I remember our conversation. Stand by for those things. Working on them. एंड या जैसे ही 2-3 सेशन के बाद इन सब का प्रैक्टिस एंड ऑल हो जाएगा, rest of the students today in class will be in the hot seat. Remember that. So तब तक इतना अच्छा प्रिपेयर कर लो कि 2 दिन में आपको फील हो आप रेडी हो. सिंपल. फ्रान, टेंशन नहीं लोगे, प्रिपरेशन पे फोकस करोगे. कुछ भी चांस पे नहीं छोड़ना है. ठीक है? चलो. Good job, Dhruv. Thank you. Ninad, thank you. Anushka, thank you so much. Vivan, Abhay, Farhan, Shabrish, and Harichandana. See you. Reach out to me if you need anything, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Chalo.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Bye,
Bye,
sir.
students.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye bye, sir.
Bye bye.